Good morning to everyone and welcome to Blissful Literati. The country we live in is a land of wonders. It is called incredible, not for nothing. Truly, ours is Atulya Bharat. Whether be it colonial past or national valor or our gift to the rest of the world, India has something for everyone of every cultural background. Today, we are going to get some glimpses of that incredible India. We will start with our colonial past when the Portuguese, led by Vasco da Gama, came and settled in this land of plenty and shaped our culinary art with their influence. Let's not linger any more, for the fragrant and piping hot bread calls us. But before we begin, let's learn a few things about our host and guide, Lucio Rodriguez. Lucio Rodriguez was born in 1916 and he died in the year 1973. He was a professor of folklore and English literature by profession and was a renowned Konkani essayist. His famous works include Abolim and Of Soil and Soul and Konkani folk tales. Let us now talk about the themes of this particular text. As for themes, we have the pen portrait of Goanese bakers. The text also provides us with a sketch of a long standing tradition and makes us culturally aware. Pen portrait is basically a sketch or portrait, but instead of pencil and brush strokes, it is created with letters and words. It is created in such a way that the entire depiction comes alive before our own eyes. Let us now have a pictographic depiction of the main item in this text, that is, bread. Let us have another depiction. This depiction is from Goa PRISM, a digital magazine which talks about the Goa's traditional poder or the bread makers. So this vehicle, this cycle, the poders go from bakery to home to deliver the bread every day on a daily basis. The hot piping bread are delivered to every household by the poders. In the text, the poders are also called pader. Both means the same thing. So let's now move into the text. But before that, let's stop for a moment and think, why should we read this text about the bread makers, the bakers? You see, basic idea of this text is nostalgia. The fond remembrance of the days of yore and the gentle warmth that oozes into us as we remember them. The days of Counter Strike or Prince of Persia, the first installment of GTA, that is Grand Theft Auto, the secret gatherings at the local cyber cafes. The memories make us nostalgic today as we try our hands on PUBG or Free Fire. Not just games, but remember our first school, the friendships made, the first greetings cards exchanged. They all make us nostalgic today. I still remember the cotton candy seller with his jingling bamboo, hanging from which would be candies of various colors. I specifically remember the pink ones, as well as various toys. Every generation has its own memories, its own nostalgia. Those cotton candies, along with the toys, they were our version of Kinder Joy. We remember our cultures, which changes over time, the old paving way for the new, and in the flow of time, many things are lost, leaving only their memories to preserve. This text preserves one such memory of the traditional bakers in Goa who shaped the culinary part of Goa with their craft and are now on the verge of becoming obsolete, extinct in this world of ready made and machine processed food. Let us now talk about the summary of this text. You see, basically, it is about bakers and their craft. Goan cuisine is incomplete without its assortment of bread. The elders get nostalgic as they remember the bakers and their famous loaves of bread. The bread was brought to India from Portugal. The bakers were called Peder. Peder, Poder both mean the same thing. Peda, and that is how they are still known today. The children ran out to meet the peda. They loved the bangles or some other sweet bread. These baked products were an inseparable part of Goanese festivals and weddings. Homemade sandwiches were a must on a daughter's wedding, and cakes and bolinas were for Christmas. The traditional dress of a peda is called kabai. Bakery was a profitable profession in those days, and the bakers they always looked happy and prosperous. Now, before we analyze the text part by part or thematically, we will do whatever is suitable. Let us first go into the word meanings. First of all, pen portrait. Pen portrait means a portrait executed in pen, a written description of a person, place, etc. Reminiscing nostalgically means remembering things of past with a fond remembrance. Molders is a person who molds or shapes something. In this text, molders refers to the people who gave the bread its unique shape. Furnaces, an enclosed structure where something can be heated to very high temperature. Extinguished means ceased to burn or shine, basically put out. Heralding is announcing or ushering. Rebuke is an expression of sharp disapproval or criticism. It also means scolding. Parapet is a low protective wall along the edge of a roof or bridge or balcony. Next, we have fragrance. It means a pleasant, sweet smell. Plucking, to take hold of something and quickly remove it from its place. Charm means an attractive or alluring characteristic or feature. Essential is something which is absolutely necessary, extremely important. Prosperous means successful in material terms, flourishing financially. Plump physique, it means pleasantly fat body or healthy build. Testimony is a formal, written, or spoken statement, especially one given in a court of law. Now, let us analyze the text thematically. Let us first talk about the history of these Goan breads and the bread makers. In Portugal, bread is a ritual. Portuguese families buy fresh bread every day, unlike the rest of the world, who use the bread slices for 3 to 4 days. You. A typical Portuguese is shocked at such audacity, while the rest of the world smirk at that Portuguese and take them as a bread snob. When the Portuguese came and settled down in India, expanding their colonies, they brought their bread culture with them. The Portuguese settled in Goa and shaped the Goanese culture with their assortment of baked products. The bakers in Goa are still called peda or poder after the Portuguese padeiro, that is baker, and padaria, which means a bread bakery. Bread and other baked products went on to become an indispensable part in any traditional Goanese festival, be it a wedding or the Christmas or New Year. Let us now have a glimpse into the bread culture of Goa. And before that, let's have a look at this peda. This is how the bakers in those days, and perhaps even today in some remote villages, they go on delivering bread from home to home, like just like this. Now, the bread culture. Even today, the high profile and heavily marketed sliced bread and their ilk have invaded when Goa with along with the rest of India. However, an appreciation of Goanese culture will remain incomplete without appreciating its bread and bakers. Children in the 80s Goa had no need for an alarm clock. The baker's horn was enough to rouse them up as they rushed for the freshly baked bread. Getting bread fresh from the oven delivered at doorsteps in Goa was something taken for granted in the olden days, and it still survives in some villages there. The bakers would make fresh bread 2 times a day, once in morning and then again in the evening. The Goan pao is a culinary masterpiece. and the recipe has been handed down from generation after generation, just as with other bread types. The basic loaves were for the elders, while the bangles were for the children. Every village had its own bakery, and every morning arrived with that fragrant alarm of piping hot bread. The three main varieties of Goan bread are the soft and chewy pav, the crisp undu, and the poi, that is whole wheat pockets, and kankna, the bangles. The undu is deliciously dipped in hot tea, but it goes especially well with zakuti. Another intriguing form is what is known as catricho pav. Literally, it means Caesared bread, where the dough is shaped with Caesars. Then there is the kaknam or kanknam. Literally, it means bangles. Rings of crusty bread, so called because they tinkle the glass bangles when fresh out of oven. The bangles are in fact patentable product of purely Goan origin. Their popularity is quite clear in the way the essayist reminisces his childhood fascination with the bangles whenever the baker would arrive with his basket. He would rather have the bangles immediately than waste time in brushing his teeth and freshening up all the while, letting the hot breads go cold. So, our discussion is gradually coming to an end, but this discussion can never end without discussing the importance of this bread and the bakers on Goanese culture. So, let's now talk about the Goan culture. The essayist makes a perfect blend of the iconic bread and Goanese culture. Traditional Goanese marriage is incomplete without the sweet bread bowl, and the sandwiches have to be made by the lady of the house on such an occasion and nobody else. Christmas is a big festival in the Catholic Goa, and the cakes and bolinas are an integral part of such activities. Accounts were kept on the wall using pencil marks. Bakers occupied a respectable position in the society, and every village had a bakery. Their prosperity was evident in their plump and happy faces, as well as in the jackfruit like physical appearance. Jackfruit means kathal. The physical appearance beneath the kabai, the traditional working dress of any baker in Goa. Kabai consisted of a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. So basically, with this, we come to an end to this discussion. And in this text, we have learned about the Goan culture and how the Portuguese bread shaped it, the painters, their role, their dress, how they kept account of the business dealings. We have come to know all about this. So after all this, if you have any question, do leave a comment. Hope you have understood the text otherwise. And till we meet again, thank you. Bye bye.